masterpiece of crap theatre, presented by Alabaster Schnook.
Hello, I'm Alabaster Schnook, and welcome to Masterpiece of Crap Theatre. Tonight on Masterpiece of Crap Theatre, we present the lesser-known sequel to Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice, The Bride of Pride and Prejudice. The film really should have been called The Brides of Pride and Prejudice, since this is the saga of the least beguiling sisters of the Bennet family. The ill-begotten epic was shot in 1947 and featured yours truly, Alabaster Schnook, in a supporting role as a vulgar Cockney rogue. The Bride of Pride and Prejudice was directed by Sir Michael Palomino, the Italian-English auteur, formerly known simply as Michael Palomino, and later as well, since soon after this film's release, he was stripped of his title. Michael Palomino gained fame for his brilliant romantic hunting film Deer Hunter, and was sunken by his outrageously over-the-top and terribly pretentious story of a tragic gatekeeper called Heaven is the Gate. The Bride of Pride and Prejudice was shot in vivid technorama, the brilliant color transformation process which would revolutionize the industry before the formula was lost in a horrible laundry accident. Unfortunately, The Bride of Pride and Prejudice, the only film shot in technorama, was bought by the English cable television magnate Fred Ferner, who black and whiteified the film for his cable network FNF. Ferner is known as a progressive adventurer and has recently married French sex goddess Brigitte Bardot, the left-wing activist and former plaything for director Roger Vadim. Ferner is also known as the owner of the World Football League team, the Sun City Blackskins, and much negative press has been given to Ms. Bardot for doing the spear chuck, the team's rallying cry. Ugh. But enough of that particular brand of ugliness. With no further ado, Masterpiece of Crap Theatre presents Jane Austen's The Bride of Pride and Prejudice.
Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum.
Mr. Bennet.
Don't be so formal, dear. Call me Mister.
All right. Mister, don't you think it's wonderful that all our daughters are grown up and married?
Not all of them, Mrs. Bennet. You're forgetting about our other daughters, Isabel, Rancy, and Skankler.
Oh. Well, I don't suppose any of gentlemen will be calling upon them.
Don't be so sure about that, Mrs. Bennet. Men can be desperate creatures. You're forgetting. My father married my mother.
Oh. And she was an abominable old hag, wasn't she?
Indeed she was, Mrs. Bennet. Well, I couldn't wait to pop out of the old beast's womb. Probably why I was born 7 months premature.
Oh, look. There's Isabel and Rancy.
My dear girls, what brings you out from beneath your respective boulders?
Oh, Father, Mother, we've just heard exciting news.
Well, spit it out, dears. Don't leave those gaping holes exposed. The local maggots have never had a more open invitation.
They just released a man from the local penitentiary.
And he's single.
Well, what was he in prison for?
Killing his wife.
Yeah, perfectly understandable. Probably a mercy killing.
Mr. Bennet.
And he's on the way over.
Ooh, how delightful.
And that's not all. He's bringing a friend with him. A single male friend.
What does this friend do?
He said they were in some kind of pharmaceutical business.
Ooh, a doctor.
Yes. Perhaps he could prescribe something for this pain of my gluteus maximus.
Oh, Mr. Bennet, I've had just enough of your scankler. What brings brings you out of the stockyard?
Oh, nothing special. I was just wondering what all the hubbub was all about.
The hubbub, as you so quaintly put it, has been caused by the imminent arrival of our 2 gentlemen callers.
The doorbell. I wonder who it could be. Oh, probably just those 2 dudes for you and Isabel.
Those 2 dudes are probably our eligible bachelors. One of them is even a doctor of some sort. Here are our 2 handsome gentlemen callers now.
Why, thank you, Mrs. Bennett. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Perry Sy. This is my esteemed colleague, Opie M. Diller.
Ah, Mr. Diller, how do you do?
How do you do?
Yes.
How do you do, Mr. Bennett?
How do you do?
How do you do, Isabel?
How do you do? Of course, you've met my sister, Rancy.
How do you do, Rancy?
How do you do? I'm Skankala. How do you do?
How do you do?
I asked you first.
Fine. I see you have one of those enchanting new television sets over there.
Yes, but it's not plugged in. It needs a wire or a cable or some such silly thing.
Perhaps you could use your finger, you know, sort of a digital cable.
Well, I shan't do that just now, but perhaps in the foreseeable future.
So, Mr. Diller, I understand you're a doctor.
Yeah, I've been known to prescribe a dose that would remedy one's ills. But, you know, I was wondering if there was a place around here I could do a bump, or, I mean, a couple things, you know,
The
like...
lavatory. Yes.
You have a laboratory?
No, my dear man. I meant the washroom. You men of science certainly have one-track minds.
Yes, I guess that's true. Well, if you'll excuse me.
Certainly.
Don't be long.
So, Isabel,
Yes, Perry?
I'm concerned for your well-being. Are you insured?
Oh, don't worry. Daddy has taken out policies on all of us.
On all of yous, huh? Well then, what I'm trying to say is, Isabel, I love you.
Oh, Perry!
Isabel, will you marry me?
You mean you don't mind my obnoxious stench?
Oh, baby, when I'm near you, all I smell is green. The green grass of home, that is.
Oh, Perry, you slay me.
In due time, dear. Due time.
What's the matter, Dr. Diller? Do you have a cold?
Yeah, that's it, I have a cold. But unfortunately I need money for more medicine.
What kind of medicine do you need, Dr. Diller?
It's a sort of powder medicine.
Snuff?
No, I need much more.
Will 30 doubloons cover it, Dr. Diller?
Yeah, 30 diplomas will do just fine. Please. Call me Opie.
Oh, all right then, Opie.
Oh, Rancy, I love you. Will you marry me?
Oh, Mother, he's the most impossible man. He's needy, he's lazy, he's kind of goofy looking.
And what, dear?
And he's a doctor, which means he must be awfully wealthy. Oh, Mother, I think I love him.
Well, run along, dear. You better go and catch him. He's just what you deserve.
I'll marry you, Opie. I will. Come on.
Oh, isn't it wonderful, Mrs. Bennett? Isabel and Rancy are getting married.
Yes. But what about poor Skankala?
I wonder who that could be.
Please, Governor, could you spare a couple of quid for a cup of tea?
A cup of tea, nothing. Skankala, get this gentleman a bottle of your finest whiskey.
Oh, Governor, you saw right through me, you did.
Never mind that. Oh, what's your name, young fellow?
Wally Scurvy.
Scurvy?
Scurvy by name, scurvy by nature, if you know what I mean, sir.
Yes. Skankala, allow me to introduce you to, Mr. Scurvy.
Oh, pleased to meet you, Mr. Scurvy.
My, but this one's got some tender bags of fun, ain't she?
Oh, Mr. Scurvy.
Please, call me...
Wally?
That's the chap. Call me Wally. And who's this? She wouldn't be bad for a tumble in the weeds herself.
Please.
A little uptight, but nothing a good poke in the bum wouldn't cure, eh, sir?
That, my good sir, is my wife.
1,000 apologies, sir. I thought she was a mere handmaid, and they're usually as loose as a fat man's belt after 3 plates of mutton, if you know what I mean.
You're a quaint little chap there, Wally. And as for the little lady, after a few glasses of sherry, why, she'll spread her legs faster than you can say Constantinople.
Sir?
Words to that effect. Anyhow, I've had my mind on a tight-buttock young stable boy, Malcolm.
I see, sir.
Yes, devil, I imagine. Now, Scurvy, if you were to marry our dear Skankler, I'd make sure you had a key to the master bedroom, as well as the liquor cabinet.
Sir, you're a man after me own arms.
Yes, just not your liver.
Scarlotta, will you marry me?
My name's Skankala.
Dear, the man doesn't even remember his own name. Don't be such a stickler for details.
Oh, I suppose you're right, Ma. Oh, Wally, you can call me Scarlotta or Skid Row or Slutophagus. Whatever. As long as you call me Mrs. Scurvy.
Isn't it wonderful, Mrs. Bennett? A triple wedding.
A triple wedding? I'll drink to that.
We'll all drink to that.
A
triple wedding!
Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Bum bum bum.